Hello, Tubal Kane here again, the old shop teacher from Illinois, and I'm pretty sure I'm in the wrong video.
Welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith. No, that's not it either. Welcome to Ox Tool Co. My name is Tom. Today we have another meatloaf episode for you today. Wait a minute, I don't even like meatloaf. It's like an overstuffed hamburger on steroids. That's not it either. Hi, my name is John, and welcome to another episode of the Sunday Nightcap series. Today, I went to a few car boot sales, and that's definitely not right. Welcome to another episode of S&S. Today I got some pictures to show you from a cylinder I built over at work, and we got a couple of jobs that came in that we're going to set up on the Monarch lathe, and go through some viewer appreciation mail. And I don't even have a Monarch lathe. What am I doing? As most of you guys know, my name's Greg, and welcome back to my shop. That feels much better. So, all that was in good fun. As you guys know, I have nothing but respect for all those guys, and they're pretty much the inspiration for me to start this channel. I watched all their videos, or most of them. I mean, I found a couple of the guys after I started this channel, but they're pretty much the inspiration that made me want to start this channel and want to continue it. And the response of this has been absolutely wonderful. We're coming up on pretty much, I think we actually passed our 2-year anniversary here on YouTube. And so far we have 9,361 subscribers, which is 9,360 more than I thought I was going to have. We have 1.25 million views is what we've got so far, or just shy of that. And we have 107 videos. This will be 108, which is pretty much more, 106 more than I thought I would have. So overall, the response to this channel has been pretty great. You know, you get your occasional negative comment here and there, but you just let that roll off your back and continue on. Can't please everybody. But mostly it's been, you know, for me, dicking around the shop, and you guys want to watch it. And it's been pretty amazing, so the channel will continue on. Basically, I'm gonna start this until it stops being fun for me to do, or people stop watching, whichever comes first, and so far it's pretty fun to do. So thank you, all you guys, for your support and all your comments. And I know a lot of you guys have been here since the beginning, and a lot of you are regular posters on the comments section, and I do know who you are, and I do appreciate it. And you know, we'll just see where this goes. And some of you guys have actually donated stuff to the shop, which I can't thank you guys enough. That's amazing to me that somebody somewhere would say, hey, I have this, do you want it? Which is absolutely amazing, and I've gotten a few of them here and there, and that surprises the hell out of me, to be honest with you. This community, in all honesty, is one of the most generous communities out there. Between all the other guys on YouTube, between Adam, Tom, and John over Double Boost, Keith, and Mr. Pete and everybody else, they've been generous enough to share their time, to share their experience, and a lot of people have shared their tools and stuff that they didn't need with them too, which is I find amazing. And also, these are guys too that aren't the YouTube personality, so I can pretty much email Tom right now and ask him a question on how to do something, and he'll email me back an answer usually. So it definitely is one of the more interactive communities out there, and it is kind of a tight-knit group. And I don't consider myself a machinist by any means at all, but I do kind of consider myself a part of that tight YouTube community, because I hope they know that if they were to ask me any questions about anything that I know, air conditioning, I wouldn't hesitate to give them an answer or try to help them out in any way I can. So anyway, what we have today is we have a few flea market finds. Well, it's not actually a flea market, it's more or less my used tool guide, which I found a couple of interesting items. We'll see, and we have a couple of pieces of art for a shop beautification project. So we'll show you those, and we'll show you the items we got. Okay, so item number one in our shop beautification project. And now these are just images that I found online. I have a larger format printer. I was able to print it out on those and just throw it in a cheapo $5 frame from Michael's. Now, if the pictures and whatnot are copyrighted, I'm not selling these, obviously. I'm just hanging them up in my shop, so there should be no issue with that. But we have this one here first, and what this is a South Bend salesman's car. So as you can see, you have a 9-inch Model A lathe hanging out in the back of the car. And just trying to get this to block out the glare. If I tilt this too much, the glare goes crazy. So we have the Model A lathe here. Let's see what we have behind it. This is a collet attachment here, the collet closer. This looks like a carriage stop, live center. Those look like some sort of tailstock items there. Back here is a steady rest. There's your thread dial. And here is a precision level hanging out up here. Now, you might not be able to tell in the camera, but back here on this open door on the side, this rear passenger's door, right here is a shaper, and across from it on the other door, that's a drill press. So basically this guy would drive around to different shops and say, hey, come outside and test drive this lathe. And he would slide this whole section, you can see, would slide in and out of his car, slide it out, plug it in, and have them test it out. And there's a couple of these pictures online. There's a picture of this car, and there's another smaller car that literally has like a trunk with it sunken in there. And it's a pretty neat little thing, the way they used to kind of door-to-door salesman style, but with lathes. So our next little picture here is an old machine shop, and I'm almost positive this was turned into a museum, and it still exists in Pennsylvania somewhere. Don't quote me on that. But it's an old, I think it existed since the 1800s, so it was run until the 1960s. And this is a picture of their machine shop floor, and you can see the maze of overhead belting and everything on there. Here's an arbor press, there's a big lathe down there. There's a shaper hanging out over here. But this whole maze of overhead shafts was at one time run by a steam engine, and then after was turned by a gasoline engine. And what I found really interesting is this chart up here, which is a decimal equivalent chart. And but it goes to what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places is how far that goes. So that's pretty damn accurate. So I mean, it's just a neat little picture, just something to spruce up my just white walls in the shop here. We'll put a stud in the wall, and we'll hang these guys up. So let's get to the bench and we'll see some of the goodies we bought.
Alright, our first item up for bids is this guy here. As you can see, we got the good old Starrett box. Now this is a very, very old box. I'm not exactly sure what that dates to, but these are the old bluish, blackish, I don't know if it was from black or whatever, but the kind of that leatherette box with the little tab clasp. And what this is an inside micrometer, which kind of always likes to fall apart. Or these rods always kind of don't like their homes, or either that or I have them in the wrong spot. Just completely possible. So we have an assortment of rods here. This largest one says, let's see what this says, 7 to 8 inch. And then we also have one of the spacers. And this is a 1/2 inch spacer. Now I'm not sure how many of these little guys are supposed to go with it, and that is basically for, alright, now it has the smallest one in there, which is 2 to 3 inch. So you set this to 0. So there's 2 inches, and then you would put one of these guys in here and lock it down, and you got 2.5 inches. So I'm not exactly sure how many of these were supposed to be in here. I'm assuming there's supposed to be another one in here at the very least, and maybe a 1/4" one or something like that. I don't know how many of these are supposed to be in the set. I'm not exactly sure. But everything's in decent shape. You got just a slight little peck of surface rust on the very back, but the anvils themselves on the front and the back here are clear. The lock screw works really nice. The only issue here is it's very stiff, especially in the lower section of the thimble. Up here it gets a little looser, and then right there it feels good. So I probably, more than likely, I'm just going to take this apart. And so you get a little tiny nick of rust there, and like I said, on the very end, but overall in good shape. More than likely we'll just give that some lube, and that ought to take care of that. And then here's your adjustment collar for it. But like I said, overall in very good shape for one that's this old. If I can get the damn thing back in there. There it is. So we'll give her some lube and make sure everything's in adjustment as we use. Not that I'm going to end up using this often, but we might play with it. I mean, obviously I need at least a 2-inch bore to use it. So we'll go from there. But saw it on the shelf, couldn't pass up the price. This set here was $8.50. So I'd be stupid to walk by it. So I got it. Now we'll go on to the next and last item, which I think you guys will find pretty interesting. Okay, so our next victim is that bad boy right there. So now, as far as I know, what this is a collapsible die. So Adam Booth did a video of him using a geometric die head, which he threaded some rod. So my understanding is this is the opposite of it. This is an internal threading mechanism, and kind of along the same principles. You have the actual threading dies that fit into here, and each slot is numbered. Here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this right here is the adjustment trip mechanism for how far this thing goes in. So let me just tighten it down here. Let me tighten one screw down so I can push it. So by forcing this lever forward, what happens is those little cams push out the threading dies. The stock gets threaded to this stop, pushes on the stop. That snaps back into place, and those dies snap back into the relaxed position. So that's my understanding of how this works. If I'm completely off, somebody absolutely correct me, because I'm just shooting by the seat of my pants here. And what's really interesting about this is the age of this thing. Now it has a model number on here, right here, and it's hand engraved, and it says C7 G or a 6, looks more like a G to me. 103 D as in dog, and it has a serial number of 33337, and it says right here, I'll have to get the glare out of there, but it says geometric. It says patented November 10th 1925, the Geometric Tool Co., New Haven, Connecticut. Now, my understanding is, when I looked these up, I believe they went out of business sometime in the 40s. They were in existence from the 1800s until the mid-40s, I want to say. At least that's all the information I could find on it. If anybody has any other information, absolutely let me know. So I don't even know if you're able to get the threading dies for this thing. I don't even know if they still exist, or if it's a standard size, or what. I haven't a clue. So you're asking, well, why the hell did you buy something that you don't know if you can even get stuff for? Well, and this is a number 4 Morse taper, but it's as far as I could tell, it's threaded in, so that should be able to be changed to whatever you need it. This one's not in bad shape. The tang's a little munged on the ends, but nothing that isn't serviceable. Looks like somebody tried to, actually, it looks like somebody went at it with a pipe wrench here. So I see jaw marks here and here, so it looks like somebody tried to get this off. Is kind of what it looks like. But yeah, so you might be asking yourself, well, why the hell did you buy that if you can't use it on your lathe, you don't know what it does, and you don't know if you can get the parts for it? Well, that's because it cost me a whopping $7.50. So, I mean, I saw it laying there. I recognized it as some sort of die head of some sort. I picked it up, I looked at it, and I'm like, that looks a little bit different, because it looked like an internal one to me, and I've never seen one, so I've only seen the external die heads, and or external threading die heads, and so turned it over, saw $7.50, and said, well, I can't pass that up. So I picked it up. So if anybody has more information on this, and knows if I can actually get the threading dies for this, which I'm assuming I can't, you know, this might just be a $7.50 paperweight. A pretty damn heavy paperweight, but a paperweight nonetheless. But like I said, I didn't waste a ton of money on it. So if this was, you know, $10, $15, I probably would have passed it by, but $7.50, couldn't. So for pretty much 18 bucks, that's what we got. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Now this weekend I'm hopefully going to get to a little project on the drill press. Yes, we're doing another drill press project. But on this project, what I want to do is I want to make a capstan quill handle for it. So right now it just has the one handle with the nut in the middle. Actually, the nut in the middle is missing, so we have to make that. You know, the single handle that you can adjust from one end to the other. I want to make one of the capstan types, which they did sell, was an option, and it basically clamped over it. So kind of going to copy that design a little bit, and we're going to make that for the drill press. So that will hopefully be this weekend's project. So we'll see you on that video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you enjoy my impressions. And to all those guys that I made that I did impressions of, hope you don't get pissed. So see you later.